Hi guys, this is Vanngo. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I invite the beautiful Sophia Crawford here. She lent me her beautiful canvas to create this makeup look for you. Her name is Sophia, but in the video she didn't correct me, so I keep calling her Sophie. So I do apologize when you guys watching the video. We create this more a softer spring summer makeup look. I hope you enjoy the video. Give the channel always a lot of love. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and don't forget to follow all of us on Instagram as well, because we have a lot of different content, not just YouTube, and you will enjoy that as well. Thank you. To start every makeup, I always prep the skincare first. The look today I'm doing is a bit more, I don't want to call it editorial, but it's really just for everyday as well, for someone who want to wear very little makeup or just really like no makeup but very enhancing. I understand that my talent today have flawless skin, so of course I'm going to use just a little concealer and everything like that. But if you have some problem skin, you still can use just like a tinted moisturizer and then some pinpoint concealer. You still can get a similar complexion. I did some other video in the past that you can watch. Then you can get tips from that for a talent have way more acne or anything like that, and you can really learn how to do the pinpoint concealer. The look today for someone who have gray skin, of course, and then I just show different product to really enhance in the beauty only, not to do a full-on makeup. And I know a lot of us would feel related to this because it's really just for you everyday doing. The step I'm doing is full step again, but for yourself you can just use a few items, or you cut out lip liner or lipstick if you don't want to wear, and lip balm only. So it's all personal preference and your own the way you do it. The first product I'm using is going to be the Summer Friday Lip Butter Balm. The shades I'm using right now, it's not the shade, the flavor I'm using is vanilla. They have many different flavor, and the one I'm using just the vanilla one. This one helps to hydrate and moisturize the lips really well. It does have shea butter, vegan wax, and natural vanilla flavor, and it's not chemical. You can use overnight as the lip mask, and this is vegan. The next product I'm using is the IS Clinical Youth Eye Complex. This provides hydration and soothe under the eye area. It contains peptide and antioxidant ingredient. It's very lightweight and suitable for under makeup. Always be very gentle around the eye area. This is definitely one of my go-to eye cream for my kid. This is a beautiful eye cream. The next product I'm using is IS Clinical Hydra Cool Serum. This is really help to soothe and calm dry and irritate the skin. It also contains antioxidant and botanical ingredient. It really helps to hydrate the skin. You can actually feel that as soon as you put on the skin. This is for all skin type, including skin that have like blemishes or sunburn skin. For men, you can use them after shave. I put them after I shave my face, and I think it's helped to soothe the skin as well. Always just press the product into the skin, especially serum. You can apply directly, in the squeezy thing, but I use it so my hand can be nice as well. For the moisturizer, I'm going to use the IS Clinical Repetitive Moisture Emulsion. All these products, I'm sure you saw me use multiple times on my channel already. It is really one of my go-to. It has botanical and peptide to add hydration and skin protection. and this is ideally for prepping under makeup. It's good for all skin type as well, including oily or sensitive skin. I generally put a lot of moisturizer on. I like it, and I massage and I blot off what left over. But for you, if you don't like too much moisturizer, you still can use them just a little bit only. It's good to really work on the skin, the products in the skin, I mean. If you are a makeup artist and you put a lot of moisturizer on, instead like trying to wipe them off, you can use a tissue like this with a little puff, and you just blot off all the excess if you find them too shiny before you apply your foundation. But for every day, you have time, just leave the product really work onto the skin first, and then you start your foundation. But then you take all the excess off first, like this. For the complexion, I'm not going to use any foundation. I know most people don't even wear foundation themselves, so I'm going to use just a concealer as everything, and I'm going to use brightener as well. So the first product I'm using, this one is the Rose Ink Soft Light Luminous and Hydrating Full Coverage Concealer, and this one here is from Rare Beauty, a positive light under eye brightener in light. And this is not a concealer because it doesn't really give you the coverage of concealer does, but it does help to brighten up the area. And I use this on all different areas that I want to brighten up the face, not just under the eye. I know they sell them, it's just for the under eye, but I use them to like as a highlight for brighten up all the area that I want to do. And you can use this before after a concealer, it's up to you. I usually use after just to brighten up everything. To start, you see Sophie complexion is really beautiful, so I'm usually only use concealer where I need it, so maybe just a little bit here under the eye area. This is a great concealer that you can use as a foundation as well. This is really great buildable coverage, so it's really beautiful and it looks like skin like, you see that. And I use this more like a puffing brush, so it's easy, just really just get the product into there very little. You see a little bit at a time, and I only add it where I need it. A little bit there. And you see this is where we do around the mouth color. I do one side at a time so you can see the difference, maybe a little more for under the eye. And I use mixture between the brush and the finger to apply my concealer. And really that's it for the complexion. And then I just go on the side to do on this side. And just between this little brush and my finger, and that's how I apply the concealer throughout the face, only where you think it needs, Even the little other area, you just, could go a little wash quick like this. And then you can use a small pinpoint brush like this. This is a small blending brush, and I do that, just pinpoint the area that I want to cover more. And you can look through and you just check where you want to cover. For the Rare Beauty Positive Light Under Eye Brightener, I mean, for Sophie, with someone, you might not see a huge difference because she naturally pale already. But for someone have like a really dark under eye area, you see even more. Like I said, this is not a concealer. We just use concealer already. This is just brightener, so it's very, very sheer. So you see that the way I do, I just put everywhere on the area that I think needs to be a little more brightened. And the great thing about this, they have this cooling thing here that helps you depuff as well. So I understand, I say this is like a no makeup. I'm gonna use product to create that look. So you will see that I use a little more than what you think. And you see that this area here, I use that to brighten the T-zone. And then where I want to be lifted is both sides of the mouth usually, so I use a little brighten. But remember, every little make a big difference, so you might not see a huge difference on these, but on as for camera person, you will see that all little lightness or area that you do is going to help. And you can see that I add them under the eye area. And then I do a little bit on the corner of the eye, out the corner of the eye here, just to lift it. For someone naturally pale like this and they want to embrace it, it's amazing. You don't have to go further step. But sometimes for photograph, remember when I'm doing makeup, I always think of how I'm gonna photograph as well. So, you know, don't mind me at all. So I always like a little more definition. So I think I'm gonna use a little bronzer on top of this. The bronzer I'm going to use is the Sisley Photo Touch Sun Glow Gel Matte. This one is very sheer. It's a matte finishing bronzing gel. It's not creasy at all. So you see I'm using a little bit. This product is infused in with skin boosting ingredients, so it's really great. It's very undetectable when you apply on. You see the way I do, and I just put a little bit on. Don't worry, it's gonna blend out. So I just give her a little color. And then a little bit here too. And it's very undetectable when you apply it on. It's blend, it's quite mimic to the skin and just give you that soft glow. It's beautiful. You see that when you first put it on, you say, oh my God, it's so, you know, so orange or anything like that. But you see that I blend it out. It just keep, look at that. She just have this really natural, you know, sun kiss. A little bit here. And since we do a natural makeup, this is very undetectable. I know I keep using that word, but you know, sometimes you have like heavy cream bronzer or anything like that. You can see the cream bronzer on the face. This one here, you only see the color, but when you look at the skin, it still looks like her skin. You don't really see much of the product, which I think this is great for someone who don't want too many layers, that heavy product on the face. It still look very natural on you. You see that one side and compared to the other side. I'm going to do the same on the other side. And this is if someone who want to have a little color, you can mix this with moisturizer, or you can apply all the face with moisturizer as well. You don't have to use a brush. You can just mix with your hand and you do that. It gives you a really nice tan, this sun kiss. They have two different versions. They have a matte and they have a glowy version. I personally like the matte because the moisturizer alone gonna give you that glowy effects already, and when you add the highlight, you add more the glowy. But especially when you apply bronzer all over like this, the glowy could be a bit too glowy. So I think maybe just like the matte, you can have more control. And then because I use the brush so much over all the area I pinpoint, I can use the pinpoint back and just touch it up a little bit. And then use the brush, press it on top, just to cover. Before powder, I'm going to apply a cream blush first. And the cream blush I'm using is from Clé de Peau. This is very beautiful cream blush. It's easy to blend. You can use your finger as well, or you can use the brush if you want more control. It is beautiful coverage. You see that I just dab a little bit, and you just add a little bit at a time. And you want to do very subtle or you want to do more blush, it's a personal preference. When I call no makeup, it doesn't mean you cannot wear blush, you know what I mean? So if you want a bit more really soft, then you don't have to do as much blush like I do. But keep in mind that I haven't done the eye yet, I haven't done the lip yet, so when you look at the blush, it may look a bit more overwhelming, but I think once you do with the eye, the lips, everything, you wouldn't see as much blush like at first applying right now. So it's okay, you can go, you know, a little more blush than you think it needed, and then you can always blend it out after. And the way I do is better to do like the way I do instead just like this, because you do that, you take away anything that you put on earlier. And a little bit at the time. I'm going to use Givenchy Prism Libre Setting and Finishing Loose Powder, mainly on the T-zone area and the under eye area, and I leave the rest of the skin pretty fresh. And the great thing about this powder is very silky texture, it's very finely milled, so you apply them, it's still very undetectable. For eyebrow, I'm going to use two products from KS and Company. The Micro Feathering Brow Pen, the shade is light brown, and the Clear Stronghold Brow Gel. To start, I'm going to use the brow gel first. Sophie have beautiful eyebrow, you know, I mean, if you do that natural makeup, maybe just brush the eyebrow with a gel, it's ready to go. But if you want to finesse a little bit more, then you can use the pen that I'm going to use just to define, you know, some corner, some sparks that she has, and then that way she can have a little bit more fuller brow. The great thing about this pen is you can mimic the hair stroke, so you know, you just go a little bit by little, just create, you know, a little more hair, and you get a few individual hair in here. And I mean, Sophie eyebrow is so beautiful already, you don't need to do much at all, but it's just a little more, just really finesse it. Yeah, just add a little bit there, a bit here. And the great thing I did is I used the brow gel already, so it's the shapes in place. Now you just see like where do you need to add more here, and just play them a little bit here, there. So depend how thick or thin, this is a great pen. You know, you can just really mimic the hair, and you see it's just really beautiful, look like her eyebrow. It doesn't look like you draw it at all. Sometimes you use the pencil or powder, it can be very dense looking, and this is like, it's still very natural. As you can see earlier, I said about blushes, you see after even I do the eyebrow, the blush look a bit more muted now. And then the next time I'm gonna do the eye and then lip, you might think I need to add a little more blush. If you're a blush person, that's why I say about if you do blush first, sometimes it look a lot, but then it look more muted after you all the feature bring out. For the eyes, I'm going to use these three products. The first product I'm using is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil, the shade called Endless Cacao. I know a lot of people love this shade for lips as well. So this is a color pencil you can use anywhere on the face, eye, lips, and draw any way you want. And the second product I'm using is this like the eye polish cream shadow called Magnetic from RMS Beauty. This is more like a taupey color. On the deeper skin, you can use even a highlighter as well. It's gorgeous. And the thing is that if I forget some name, whatever, you can only find everything I use on the description box below the video. So the shade, the link, and everything, we have it there. And the last product is this one is a mascara from Clio. It's a Clio Q Lash Super Proof Mascara. This is not waterproof mascara, but they are really long wear, and it does take a little work to remove them, just so you know. So it's almost like a waterproof mascara. They also have a waterproof mascara version as well, but these are Korean mascara. They're beautiful, but they does hold really well, you know, through sweat and everything. I think because of the weather in Asia. 2-star. For this color, I really use is for depth. If someone have natural a lot of depth on the lash line, they don't need to use this at all. But for me, I'm gonna use this on the lash line, and just really just for depth. And the color is pretty natural. You're not gonna get like the black color, or you know, this is pretty soft. I mean, my friend Katie Jane, she obsessed with this shade for her lip liner, and she used for every single makeup look. So, but this one here you can use for the eye as well. See? And you just blend it out. And I'm doing the same on the other side. So just a little color like that, just to define. I don't want to use black because it's gonna be too heavy, or like a dark brown, but this is more like a taupey color. It's quite gorgeous. And then what I'm gonna do next, you can use a finger or you can use the brush. You know, it's all personal preference. You use a little of this color and put it on the eyelid. And watch what I'm doing right now is I deposit most of the color right on the crease area. And then I use the blank side. I blend it out on the top here, so I push it up a little bit, so blend the edges. And then the same on this side. You see that side the clean, this one here. I mean, you can use two different brushes if you want to, but in case you just want to use one brush for application, you can use your finger as well if you like to blend with fingers. And then you flip, you just blend it out, flip back, you get the color out here. And flip back this way. Here. And flip this way. Let's see. It's just gorgeous. I think this color suits everyone. And what you're gonna do is you can use the blending brush that you used earlier. Just dip a little color, and you just do along the lower lash line as well, so it defines the eye shape even more. I just cut the lash off camera. And for this mascara, it's clump-free long wear mascara. If someone wants really volumizing clumpy mascara, it's not the right one for you. This is very separated, no flaking. It has mineral oil and silicone-free formula. and it's also great for lengthening and also help to curl the lashes as well. And for the look we're trying to do, this is perfect. For me, sometimes I like mascara that's a little bit more like more volume and more like a little clump together, just because I think it looks very sultry. And sometimes I purposely do that on my client as well, just because I think it's look a bit more like undone and sultry look. But you know, a lot of people don't like that. I do that in purpose, and they always make crazy comment about the lashes. But we sometimes we do things like this. Those sometimes for when you do that kind of smoky eye looking, it look very sensual and sexy for me in my aesthetic, I think. So I purposely really clump the lashes in and really like smudge the lashes together when I do the mascara. Today, because when I do this kind of look, when it's, you know, like a little makeup like this mascara does a great justice for the purpose I'm doing, you know. And then I do a little bit on the lower lashes as well. But I think in general, most people like when lashes was like natural like this, you know. As I mentioned earlier about the blush, now after I've done the eye, I think I'm gonna add a little more, just because I think it needs a little more than what it was, just because when you don't have eye makeup, it look a lot, but I think now it's a little disappear, so I just add on a little more. And that's what I have on makeup. You can always go back, you know, add more if you like. For highlighter, I'm going to use the Westman Atelier Lit Up Highlight Stick. The shade I'm using is called Parlor. This is the Dewy Finish Cream Highlighter. It's beautiful. It can be used anywhere on the face. You can use on the eye if you like to, the nose, the cupid bow, anywhere that you want to add some dimension on the face. And this is great. It's like glow from within. People love it. It is fragrance free. You see this one here? It's just beautiful. Perfect for these no makeup look. And I use a little bit right there. Same as right here as well. For lips, I'm going to use only one product. It's Peri Para Ink Velvet. And the shade is 40. All the link from below as well. This is long wear products. It's a velvety texture. It gives you intense color. So, but I'm gonna do is a soft, more a blurry effect. It's quite high pigmented, so I don't want to do that look. I'm using this, but I do more like a softer focus. You can see I use on the buffy brush, and I just do a little of the color. You can use your finger as well if you want, but I use this and it have a little more control for me. I'm trying to do more little bitten looking, so it's more softer. Slightly smile for me. And you can see that like it is really beautiful. It can be very intense, but I just do very soft. This is such a gorgeous color, and you see that I use this with a brush like this, so it's very soft. You don't need to use a lip brush for this at all. To complete the look, I'm going to spray some Gucci hydrating mist on top of this, so to make the skin a little even more radiance. That's the final look, guys. Thank you, Dawson, so much for doing this effortless hair that I was asking him to do. I think Sophie look beautiful in this look. I think this like a very everyday makeup you could do for anyone. I know that I go details, so the video could be longer than 10 minutes, but if you actually do yourself, you can achieve this in 10 minutes easily. You know, so if you can learn on the step and you can do yourself pretty fast, it's just because I talk and do at the same time. So it looked like I spent 30 minutes on this, but you can do this in 10 minutes. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give the channel always a lot of love. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Sophie, so much for coming to the channel. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I really hope you do if you haven't yet. And follow all of us on Instagram as well. Thank you.